All right. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Zoom. I'm super excited for you guys that are on. It says a lot about you and your seriousness to your business. So, welcome, welcome. First things first, I do want to kindly introduce our two Ambassador Diamond leaders, Chad and Jaree Kneller. If you aren't familiar with who they are, these are literally your Ambassador Diamond leaders. If you don't know what Ambassador Diamond is, that is the highest rank in the company. That is as far as you can go besides Black Diamond, which I'm sure they're going to be there within the next couple months. So these are your Ambassador Diamond leaders, and I just wanted you guys to meet them and them introduce themselves to you so that you guys could see them, the real people. I mean, they're going to answer some things, tell their story for you guys, and then give you a couple tips. So, Chad and Jaree.
Well, hey guys, I'm so honored to be on here, and this is such an exciting time right now. I'm like losing my voice because we've all been like pounding it out over the last week, right? And I'm so excited that you're a part of this right now because literally you're a part of such a huge movement that's going on in our industry and within our company. And so I've been with the company. It'll be 5 years this month. 5 years on the 25th.
Yeah, 27th.
27th. It'll be 5 years. It's crazy. It doesn't seem like that long because we've had so much fun. But when I got started, I was just a stay-at-home mom. I was homeschooling my two older kids, and my youngest, who's autistic, Elijah, was in diapers, and Chad was an active duty Army officer. So we were an extremely busy family. However, we were swimming in credit card and student loan debt. Chad went from being enlisted to becoming an officer in the Army. He had to get his bachelor's degree, which meant he had to do school online. And so we accrued quite a bit of credit card and student loan debt. And to be honest, we just weren't good with our money.
We blew a lot of money.
We did blow a lot of money. So when he became an officer, even though he was making better money, 75, 80,000 a year, we were still living paycheck to paycheck. And matter of fact, we were still accruing more and more credit card debt. And so I knew I wanted to do something to help out, but I didn't know. I honestly thought, since I'm a hairdresser by trade, I thought maybe I'd start doing hair out of my kitchen or something. And I ended up, one of my best friends was trying this wrap, and after I tried to talk her out of it because I thought it was a total scam, she showed me her results, and I was like, okay, I'll try it. So I became a customer first, and I tried the wraps, and I had amazing results with the first one. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I signed up on the spot and became a distributor. And honestly, I just wanted some free product. I did not see this as a viable way to make income. I just thought, because Chad had dabbled around in some other companies in the past, and he put a lot of time into it and made very little money. So I got really excited about and shared my results with everybody, even though I had literally just moved. We had gotten stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. We were 4 hours away from our closest family members, and we knew no one. So I want you to understand that. So when we got started in the business 5 years ago, I had no network local to me, but I still wrapped 50 people my first month that were local to me. And it's because our mouths were open, and I was so excited that when I went to the grocery store with my kids, and I would be standing there in line, and I would just be like, at first I'd just be talking to myself. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe what these wraps did to my body. Oh my girl, look what these wraps did to my body. And she'll like, oh, damn. Yeah. Where do I get that? And I'm like, girl, I can hook you up. You can come to my house. I can wrap you. It's only $25. And because it was so chill and so relaxed and not like me trying to sell them anything, it was just like, just come over. You got to try it. It's amazing. And I always stayed out of people's pocketbooks. I never assumed that $25 was too much for them. Honestly, $25 was too much for me back then, but I still wanted to try the product. And so anyway, all that to say, I was able to create this network. And of course, Chad was a big part of that because he was still in the Army, and a lot of those people that we wrapped were guys, soldiers, and their wives. And so that he was definitely part of bringing that flow in there. But I quickly realized that I was going to be able to start making way more than just free product. So I was like, dang, okay, I set my first goal at $300 to $500. Like if we had $300 to $500 a month extra, that was going to allow us to be able to go on date nights without putting on the credit card, and we could start making a dent in some of our debt. And I blew that goal out of the water my first month because we went Emerald. And it was the reason why we went Emerald in 1 month is because I put 50 wraps on people in that first month. How did I do that? Because some of you are like, how do I do that? I can't afford to buy 50 wraps, right? Like, who can afford that? Well, I knew from the beginning that every time I signed up 2 customers, I could get a wrap reward. And when I put a wrap on someone, I built value into the loyal customer program or into becoming a distributor. So when I wrapped them, first of all, I let them know that this is just one sample. Like, you cannot form an opinion about this wrap until you finish a full treatment of 4. And I'll let them know you're either you're going to get smaller, you're going to bloat, or nothing's going to happen. And I let them know. And like, if nothing happens today, that just means that you need to wrap more. And so I just let them know up front. So if there was a bloater, because it does happen, I let them know that by the next morning, they're probably going to have some seriously amazing results. That's almost across the board that way. But when they were, I'm like, look, you can keep buying wraps from me for $25 a piece. That's fine. Or you can become a loyal customer and get it at a discount. And I built value into the loyal customer program. So most people left either a distributor or a loyal customer. And every time I signed up 2, I got my wrap rewards for $25. And I was hustling. I mean, that's literally what I was doing. I was hustling wraps. I was slinging wraps. And it was funny. I had greens too. So I would have people come over during lunchtime, because that's when my youngest would take naps. And people would come to my house and they'd leave an hour later with a little baggie of greens, because I just put 2 scoops to send them home with, because I was too cheap to buy the individual packets. I'm like, my neighbors had to think there was something seriously crazy going on in my house, because they literally left with little greens baggies. Anyway, but that's how we did it. And then the second month, I did the same thing. We wrapped over 50 people. I went diamond. Chad was my emerald. So every time I promoted, Chad promoted. And it really was because we stayed consistent and we got the product on people. And what's really cool about putting the product on so many people, you don't have to do 15 a month if you don't want to, but if you can do 10 in a month or even 8 in a month, get 2 boxes of wraps and wrap 8 people every single month, then you're going to build your belief so much in the product. Like, I put so many wraps on so many different people that when I have somebody that tells me it's a scam or they don't get results in that first one, it does not rock me, because I know because I've seen the wraps work with my own eyes so many times that I have a product that is absolutely incredible. And so that's where you have to get to. And then the same way with some of the other products, like, you guys should be utilizing your auto ships, making sure that you're running those and you've got different products that are coming on there, because you have to be the product of the product in order to be a share person, because you don't want to be a salesperson. Salespeople just push things on people, and half the time they don't even use what they sell. Like, I'm going to finish talking because I'm going to lose my voice completely in a minute here. But like, Chad always uses this analogy. He's like, why would you buy a Honda from a Toyota guy that drives a salesman? Why would you buy a Honda from a Honda salesman if the guy drives a Chevy or a Toyota? Like, wouldn't you think if you're going to sell something, you'd be wanting to wear your brand, show your brand off? And so it's the same thing with this company. Like, you guys have to be doing more. Like, you have to create a testimony for yourself and take people along that journey.
Yeah, so that's basically it. And then for us, our story goes on. The simple version is that we went to our first big event, which was conference, and we caught the vision. We saw people who, were just scared to death that had massive success. We saw people who were super young who had massive success, and just people from all different backgrounds. And it took away all of our excuses, because we knew leaving that conference that it was possible for us to do it too. So we really came home from that. And for the next 100 days, we worked our butts off. And over that 100 days, we literally quadrupled my full-time Army officer income, and I was able to walk away from the Army. So
so that's this, like, you're just saying it so casually. So even though I'm losing my voice.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you guys tell your story, like the nitty gritty bottom of the tell it so somebody can relate to it, please.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, I don't know if you guys have been on any lives or Zooms here lately, but I've been really open and transparent about my past. So I dropped out of high school my junior year. I have a learning disability. I have a really hard time reading things and comprehending it. Like, I have to read things over and over and over again for it to, like, stick. Being in the back office, letters, numbers, words, they all jumble together on me. Thank God I have my hubby, because I would be a hot mess if I had to use that all the time. But I also am a victim. I was sexually abused as a child, and I my parents got divorced when I was little, so I had a lot of cards stacked against me. I looked for love in the wrong places. I dated a lot of guys that were complete and total a-holes, and I just was in a really bad place. I really felt unworthy most of my life, and it wasn't until it was after Chad and I met. When Chad and I met, I was probably at my worst. I had been doing drugs to medicate my past. I mean, bottom line was I was dating guys that beat me. And this guy in particular that I was with at that time was a drug dealer. And I was doing a lot of ecstasy because that was one of the things that he was pushing. And I was doing so much of it just so I didn't have to like feel anything. I could numb out, that I started having seizures from it. And I just kept doing it and doing it. And then finally it got to the point where I would have seizures when I wasn't doing it. And I ended up losing my license temporarily because the doctors were afraid that if I drove, I would have a seizure. And because of course I wasn't telling the doctors that I was doing drugs. They were thinking, oh, she's got MS. This could be because I had dark spots on my brain when they did the MRI when I was the neurologist. And so I also had to step down from doing hair because I was doing hair at the time, and I was afraid I would have a seizure while I was doing somebody's hair and hurt them or hurt myself. So the one thing that I kind of had going for me, because even though I dropped out of high school, I was able to get my GED. I have no clue how. I got my GED and I went to beauty school, and everything was hands-on. I had to learn book stuff, but because it was hands-on, it stuck. And so that was the only thing that I felt accomplished about it. I was a really good hairdresser. I had built a great clientele, but I was still dying on the inside because of my past that just haunted me. And the relationship that I was in that beat me down to the point where I felt like I was not worthy, that I would never be able to get any better, and that I deserved whatever it was that I went through, ashtray thrown at my head, whatever it was. And whew, so you said nitty gritty, right? So I got to a point where I remember I was driving to, it was actually an ex-boyfriend of mine, ex-fiance. I was engaged when I was 19. How dumb is that? My ex-fiance had died in a car accident. And I thought that, so I'm still with the jerk that threw the ashtray at my face. And Luke, the one that was my fiance, died. And I thought, oh, he was going to be he was the only guy that ever really loved me. Okay. Cause he never cheated on me or hit me. And, oh no, he did cheat on me. Never mind. That was a lie. Oh my gosh. Talk about Jaree Springer. Yeah, he did.
So you were driving
I was driving, and I remember I was an atheist. I didn't believe in God. And I was just at such a low place that I was just crying out, and I was just like, God, if you're real, I need you to help me. Because if you don't help me, he's going to kill me. And if he doesn't kill me, I'm going to kill myself, because I can't live like this anymore. I can't live trapped and I feel like I'm a prisoner anymore. And so I drove 2 hours away to go to the funeral. And I don't know, something clicked for me. It's so dumb that it took a funeral of somebody that I thought loved me to get me out of that mindset. But I was able to go back to where I lived, and I was slowly disconnecting myself from Mike. And there was many times where I wanted to leave him, and I tried, and he would, threaten to kill himself. Like there were times when he would pull a gun out and put it in his mouth and tell me if I leave him, he's going to kill himself. It was totally manipulative, and really, it was totally it was a mind fuck. Okay. That's the best way that I can say it. It just was. And, I finally felt like I was empowered. Like, I don't have to live like this anymore. Like, life is too short. And so there was this time frame where it was about a month, I guess. And Luke's family had asked me to help them coordinate a benefit because they had no money. He had no insurance. So anyway, long story short, I met Chad in a bar where we had a benefit, like 30 days after the funeral. And I still hadn't completely broke things off with Mike. But I'll let Chad tell you about the Sitting Bull.
Good old Sitting Bull in Hudson, Illinois. Don't ever go there.
No, don't.
But that's where we were. That's where the benefit was happening. I was singing in a band at the time and running sound. I think we had 6 bands that were at the benefit that day. And so I was sitting there, and I was just kind of hanging out, and most of the people there were missing, most of their teeth. I think when Jaree walked in, she had more teeth than all the other ladies combined in the whole Sitting Bull building, right? So, but anyway, I just remember Jaree walked in, and she You know, she just walked in, and I looked back and I saw her, and she had this white dress on. You know, she was totally out of place in the sitting bull, right? I'm like, man, this girl's gonna like get attacked or something coming up in this whole place. But and I kind of jokingly elbowed my guitar player, and I said, look, that's my future wife. And then he elbowed me and said, no, that's my future wife. And I said, we'll see. So, you know, it was one of those things. Yeah. So I, you know, later on that night, I kind of met Jaree, and then we later that night, because this was during the day.
No. Okay, first of all, she wants nitty-gritty.
Are you doing the long?
She wants it, right? Okay. So when we met in the Sitting Bull, he like really tricked me because he's like, hey, we might come play in St. Louis sometime, because I lived 2 hours away from where he was at the time. And maybe if you give me your phone number, I'll let you know when we're in town. Well, I didn't know that his band had never played in St. Louis, but he just totally lied because they'd never played in St. Louis.
I had big dreams.
Big dreams, right?
In St. Louis.
So I gave him my number, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to come see you play. If you come, you guys did a great job. So I left, and like an hour later, he calls me, and he's like, hey, would you like to meet me out at the karaoke bar down the road? And I was like, maybe. So I called Jeanette Jones, y'all.
You're up line.
Yeah, Jeanette. I called Jeanette. She's my buddy. She's my buddy for years. And I was like, Jeanette, I need a wingman. I need you to go with me. This guy might be creepy-licious. And so I need you to go and like put some feelers out for me, because I don't want to just show up and hang out with some guy I don't know. And so she came with me. She stayed while, watched him sing to me, and she was like, and she left. And so I was a bit of a hoe back then. And so I went home with Chad that night. And it's crazy because, again, I just want to remind you,
put her spell on
I
me.
was not saved. Okay. I did not know the Lord at all. And so we slept together. And honestly, I did that because I knew that if I slept with him, I would never be able to look Mike in the face again. And I knew it would be completely over. It's just,
and my singing wasn't half bad
right.
either.
That's how warped my mind frame was though at that time. And so I didn't even remember what Chad looked like the next day. And it's funny because I had to go, he called me and wanted me to come by the restaurant that he lived above, and this, oh my gosh, it was a crap hole apartment in a attic.
Downtown Bloomington, y'all. That's where I lived.
There was tar dripping in. I mean, I'm like, what was that? I was intoxicated. But anyway, long story.
We still have 13 years to go through to just get to now.
I'm loving this. I don't know about everybody else, but this is entertaining. So
I just at least you're like, well, if they can go ambassador, shoot, I can go ambassador.
That's the whole point of all this.
Exactly. They're telling this so you guys understand that you don't need to have all the money in the world to be where they're at. So continue, please.
Okay, we were living. Okay, we moved in.
I lived with her grandmas, and when I was 30,
we moved in. Okay, we moved in a week after we met. 2 weeks after we met, we were in a bar. Imagine that. And 3 or 4, maybe 3 police officers came in and arrested him because he had 6 warrants for his arrest. You'd think 2 weeks into a relationship, you'd run. No, I was like, I love him. I'm going to go bail him out. So I bailed him out of jail down at McLean County.
I knew it was true love then.
Oh, yeah. And, man, I was so messed up. If my kids ever do the dumb crap that I do, I swear I'll just kill them. But, and then, okay, so that had happened. And then I got pregnant 2 months after we met with Gavin, my oldest. And that was what really, like that.
That was a wake-up call for
He
us.
was the reason I completely gave up doing drugs. I quit partying. I quit smoking cigarettes. He was the reason. And we both were so screwed up, but we were so like hammered all the time that we didn't realize how screwed up we were until we both had to sober up, and we were just like, whoa. So we were like, well, maybe we'll find some good parents our own age at a church. We should just go to a church because there should be some kind of stable people that are around our age that we can learn from, right? And so we fought over what kind of church we were going to go to, and then we went to church. We found one, we went, and it was crazy because we went there looking for parents, and we ended up finding the ultimate parent, and we both got saved that Sunday.
And here's the big point, is that was kind of the beginning of our growing process, and we never stopped. We decided that we wanted to be different than we were at the time. We decided that we weren't qualified to be good parents. So we wanted to learn how to be good parents. And then we, along the way, wanted to learn how to be good spouses. We wanted to learn how to be good, better friends and better leaders along the way. I had to go through a whole lot of stuff, paying off thousands of dollars of fines. And I was able to go back into the Army in 2005.
By the way, his 6 warrants were like parking tickets.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing major.
He peed on a police officer's foot.
Public urination one time.
Yeah, public urination.
It wasn't on the foot. See, you're giving him the wrong visual. He was like 20 feet away. He pulled in behind me.
He was peeing in the street, and it was running down by the cop's foot.
It was going down.
Stop! I'm dead.
Anyway, okay, yeah. So it wasn't like anything huge, but I mean, still, he had 6 warrants.
I had over 1,000, like probably $1,500 just in parking tickets, because it became a joke for me. Because downtown Bloomington, the signs are all confusing. You have to like park here between 2 and 6 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, on this side of the road on Monday. And I was like, I'm just going to park the closest spot, and I don't care how many tickets they put on my dash, because I'm just not going to pay them. That was my plan. That was stupid, right? So thousands of dollars later. So just to get into the Army, I had to have all this extra paperwork. But fortunately, in 2005, the military was like digging through the bottom of the barrels looking for people to join, and they're letting anybody in. So go back in the Army, and I'm like 30 years old, and I've got 21-year-olds bossing me around, right? Talk about humble pie, starting all over. So we started our family, our small family, out in North Carolina, got out of Illinois, got away from all of our
rowdy
bad friends and our good friends. And this time we knew the kind of people we were looking for, families that were strong and had children and that sort of thing. So we got really, really involved, and we just plugged in, and we got around people who had learned more than us and gotten further than us. And we just embraced the process of growing. And it was a long process.
So now you know where we came from. You know that we weren't handed everything with a silver spoon. We lived very humbly. I don't know how we ever lived off like $400 a month, $500 a month.
Well, no, I mean, I remember it was like we were trying to set a budget up on $1,000 a month, and making between the two of us like sometimes $300, and they take the taxes out. I mean, $9 an hour for me, and her serving at Cracker Barrel part-time. It doesn't get very far. So, this thing's we got 10% left on here.
Yeah, we just had to hurry.
Okay, so I don't want to die out before we get to some of the meat. So anyway, having said all that, it was a process. It was a process, and it was just consistency of us learning and growing and learning and growing, and then taking 5 steps back, and then 2 steps forward, and then 2 steps back, and then 3 steps forward, and on and on and on. And so finally, when this opportunity hit us in 2012, we were ready for it.
Yep.
We were ready. We'd gone through the fire.
So I went diamond. I went diamond my 2nd month, and then a couple months later, we found out Chad was going to deploy to Afghanistan, and I totally went in a funk. So I worked my butt off for a few months, and did everything that I could do. Like, built an amazing residual income. We were making like between $2,500 and $3,000 a month in residuals, and
between the two of us,
correct. And when I found out he was getting deployed, and then he left, like, I got into a huge funk. I was barely even bathing. I wouldn't get on any calls. I didn't do anything to build my business. I literally just couldn't function. And I know that sounds crazy, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are military wives, but for me, I couldn't function. I was totally depressed. And Elijah, our youngest, he got sick in the middle of the night one night, and the Lord told me to go in and check on him it was about 11 o'clock at night. And this is my 3rd baby. After your first 2, you don't check on him at 11 o'clock at night anymore. You just pray and hope that God's going to keep him safe. And the Lord told me to go check on him. And so I did. When I opened his door, there was blood all over his crib, all over him. He had started bleeding internally from his rectum. And so he had internal bleeding that was going on, and I picked him up, and he was lifeless. And I carried him down into my room, and I laid him down because I realized the source of the bleeding was coming from his diaper. And when I opened the diaper up, blood pooled out of both sides. Called 911. They were able to rush us over to Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. But in the process, he was bleeding out faster than I could get blood in him. And I just remember thinking, Chad's in Afghanistan. I have no way of contacting him. I'm posting frantically on Facebook, hoping that he'll see it and be able to come home.
That's what I saw on Facebook right here.
And I just remember I never wanted to ever feel like that again. Elijah, obviously, he's 6 years old now, and he had the life-saving surgery that he needed. He was born with an extra piece of tissue in his stomach that bled out. But not having Chad there with me and having to go through that alone was one of the hardest and scariest things that I ever did. So when Chad made it back and was able to stay back by the grace of God, we were able to go to conference. And that's the one he was talking about. So we went there with a lot of like, we don't ever want to feel this way ever again. We never want the army to be able to dictate whether or not we can be together in a serious situation like this. So when we went and we saw all of the people, the different walks of life, every shape, every color, every age, walking across the stage, and it wasn't a polished like some of the slick companies he was in before where you had to be super polished. I saw women shaking with the microphone in their hand, like scared to death being up there, and I was like, oh my gosh, if she can do this, then we can do this. And I remember when Mark announced some bonuses at the time that we were just like, I remember looking at Chad saying, do you think it's possible that I could go triple diamond in 2 months? And he said, all things are possible through Christ who strengthens us. So yeah, it can happen. And we just made our minds up in that moment that we were going to run hard, that we were going to lay all of our extracurricular activities down, that we were going to just, whatever time we had, we were going to focus it on building our business. And that was in January. In February, I went double diamond. In March, I went triple diamond. And then we pushed again and went presidential in April. So in 101 days, we went from making around $2,000 a month to $44,000 a month. If I told you, if you put 90 straight days into your business and you gave it all you had and you didn't do date nights, movie nights, but you just really focused that time and you spent 90 days on your business, that you could make a 5-figure a month income, would it be worth it to you? Okay, how many of you would actually do it? You got to do it. You got to commit. Chad and I, he was still working full time. I was still homeschooling the kids. We didn't know anybody still. So we didn't have a nanny. We didn't have babysitters, nothing. We still had the kids there. He was still gone at work all the time, and we made it work.
We had 24 hours in a day, just like everybody. Yep. So when we decided we were going to go for it, we woke up early. We went to bed late. We went many days on very little sleep, but we were excited. We were excited about what was going to happen in our life. And that's what you have to get excited about now, is what is going to happen.
And you've got to figure out what's going to drive you, because hopefully it's not something tragic like it was for us. But you got to figure out what your why is and what is going to keep you moving forward when you don't feel like it. Because I can tell you, even as an ambassador diamond in this company, that there have been many days that I've been like, I've questioned, like, am I a one-hit wonder? Is this, maybe I missed the mark? There's been times where I lost rank. Like I was ambassador diamond and then lost it and was presidential for a while. And I didn't know if I was ever going to get it back. And then I fought my way back and I got ambassador back and kept it for almost a year. And then I lost it again and I fought my way back. Part of this business is so much about you having that grit, that you're going to keep going no matter what and not fall victim to that defeatist mentality. And God along the way is going to shape you. He's going to mold you. So all of the things that discourage you in this business, all of these big mountains that you keep hitting and going around, it's the same mountain every single time. It's because you just have some things that God's trying to show you and teach you so that he can build the character that's necessary into you, so he can refine you into the leader that he's calling you to be. Now, you guys just experienced the harvest. I mean,
well, how many of you just signed up in June? They're on here right now.
I don't think
any of you guys just
one?
Okay.
Two. Hey, okay.
Awesome.
5. Okay, awesome.
Okay, that she sees. There's other screens too, I'm sure.
Okay.
The phone numbers on here, I don't know who they are, but I think they're new people. So
cool.
Awesome. Hey guys.
So there may be 7 or 8 now.
Okay, so now like the nitty gritty of our story. So we're hot mess, but Jesus loves this hot mess, right? And so we just want you guys to know that the real people at the top of this company are real people. Like and everybody that I've had the pleasure of getting to know in this company, including our Black Diamonds, are so humble because they come from humble beginnings, and they're so down to earth, and they are so approachable. And that's the culture that we've created here. That's the kind of company that you just joined. That's what you're a part of right now. Is something that that God is obviously really, really blessed and that you get to be a part of.
Yeah. So now, can you push me off the chair? Okay. Um, so let me talk to the new people first. Okay. First of all, I want you to understand what is in your hands right now for the short term. Okay. Jaree mentioned a couple things that are great. And I just want you to understand a couple things that we're doing too. If you don't yet, if you haven't seen the video for the newbies video we did, the Facebook Live that we did, and the Black Diamond Team page, so make sure and watch that. But basically, if you signed up in the month of June, you had 30 days to earn $100 shopping spree. Okay. And to get your $100 shopping spree, all you have to do is go sign 4 loyal customers. All right. And each of those loyal customers have to be qualified loyal customers. That means only 1 per address. And they need to purchase a minimum of 25 BV in products. BV stands for bonus volume. Every product we have has a BV attached to it. Most of them are about 1 BV for $1. So if you have 4 family members and they all buy Advanced Formula Fat Fighter, or they buy greens, or they buy Relief, or they buy any wraps or any of our amazing products, then those are going to be qualified loyal customers. And when you have at least 4, and when you add all the BV between all of them together, and it's at least 150, you get $100 shopping spree. Now, along the way, like Jaree said, every time you sign 2 loyal customers, you're going to get a wrap reward. And what that means is now you can buy your next box of wraps for just $25. And you get 4 in a box, and you can sell them for $25 when you do wrap parties and that sort of thing. So that's another great way for you to bring more income into your home. Well, something that Jaree and I just kind of on a whim decided to do is that we're going to give away $1,000. We're going to give away $100 to 10 people in the short term. So whoever has their 4 customers that I just talked about, and you have 150 PBV, but you have at least 400 GV, right? GV stands for group volume. That's your volume. That's people you bring in the business, their volume, all your customers' volume, anything you order, all that stuff combined is your GV. It stands for group volume. That's your whole team, right? So the first 10 people on our team that have 400, we're going to just give them $100. We're just going to PayPal to them, drop them $100, right?
Did you hear that? Okay. Did you guys hear that? He's going to give you $100. Okay. I'm sorry. Proceed.
Then we have other things lined up I can't release yet, because I'm going to make a special page. It's going to be our special incentives page, but I can tell you that all of Destiny's team is going to be on there, and you all can benefit from that too. So that's one great, amazing thing. Here's what else is on the plate right now, is what's called $200 fast start bonuses. I mean, you guys can earn $200 from every person who joins you in this crazy It Works adventure. Okay. So maybe some of you had people join last month. Maybe you didn't. If you didn't, you have from January, we're not in January, we're in July. You have from July 1st through July 7th. And every person that joins you, they're going to pay $59. So it's not $9.99 anymore, but it didn't go all the way back to $99. It's $59. So still a great, great deal. So $59. And when you help them get started fast, like you did, and get their first 4 customers, you're going to get a $200 bonus. So hello. And those are unlimited. You can earn unlimited $200 bonuses. I mean, we have a girl on our team that signed up 50-some distributors last month. Just imagine if she gets a $200 bonus. And that's just one way we get paid from all 50 of them. And Destiny, how many did you sign up? Like 20-some?
29.
29. Destiny signed 29 people. So and here's what I love. Do you think Destiny's motivated to help all 29 of those people get a bunch of loyal customers? Yes, she is, because she gets fast start bonuses. She gets residual income, because we make 15% commission every single one of you. When you sign a customer up, you make a 15% commission, and you get paid that every single month they buy forever. That's called residual income. See, if the whole world knew what residual income was within like a year or two, no one would want a 9-to-5 job anymore. You just wouldn't want a 9-to-5 job, because a 9-to-5 job, you get paid per hour that you put into work. With a company like this, you get paid residual income, which means you can do the work one time and get paid over and over and over and over. Just like any of you pay bills over and over and over and over. Who pays your phone bill over and over and over and over? Do they give you a call every month, or come knock on your door and thank you and give you a hug You know, say, thanks for donating to AT&T. We love you. No, they don't. They don't do nothing. They just keep on taking your money. So how would you like to be on the other end of that, where money just keeps coming in and you benefit for once, right? Instead of just pay, you can receive. And ultimately, instead of paying interest on stuff like we do, credit cards, anybody else have credit cards? Loans, car loans, things like that. You know that thing called interest where we pay extra? And over the years, it becomes a lot of extra when you add it all up. It's like every month you just like driving down the road slinging 20s, right? 20 for the car, 20 for the card, 20 for the house, 20 for that. You're just slinging it. Well, down the road, we help you understand too how to be on the receiving end of that and earning interest. That's a whole different level of freedom, guys. It's so cool. So anyway, all these incentives are on the table. So Destiny wanted me to give one. I'm on like 4%, guys. So if I die, you know why I died. But one tip for the newbies and one tip for the veterans. So here's my tip for the newbies right now. I would say this. We put a link to a video that's called How to Get Your First 4 Customers in Your First 72 Hours. Okay? And click on that. It's like 25 minutes long or something. It's going to walk you through some of the products. And as you're learning about these products, you're immediately going to think of people you know that could use that right now. How many of you have at least 5 people in your life that are just stressed all the time? Yeah, right? So what if you could go into their life and hand them a little pill called Confianza that's $25, and it could make them a happier person for the rest of their life? Would that be worth it? I mean, let me tell you about this Confianza real quick. Here's my little commercial. I'm driving we're in North Carolina, I think at the time, and we're driving to Illinois, right? No, we're in North Carolina. We were already in Clarksville, Tennessee. We're driving to Illinois. And at the time, my older 2 kids are in the back. Any of you have at least 2 kids? Anybody? No? Well, I've got my 2 kids in the back, my older kids, and they are.
Marnisha's got one. Marnisha down here has 2.
Okay. Marnisha's got 2. So my kids are fighting, you know, there's arguing, and I'm getting, you know, I'm already kind of like, you know, stuck in the car for a while. I'm already kind of stressed, and I'm just like, ugh. So I'm getting ready to snap a little bit. Not like Jaree's ex-boyfriends. I'm not that guy, okay? But I'm getting ready to snap and like get angry and start telling the kids, you know, shut up kind of stuff. And and Jaree's like, honey, you need to try some of this Confianza. And I'm like, I need to try the whole bottle, right? So I take 2 of them and I eat them and, you know, I swallow them. And like don't chew them up. That's probably nasty. I've never done that. But like 15 minutes later, I just felt this like calmness come over me. And I'm like, how come I'm not stressed anymore? How come I'm not, there they are right there. Yeah. I'm like, how come I'm not like ready to chew the kids up and spit them out anymore? And I was like, no, it can't be that kicking in already, making me feel this good. And then my second thought was, honey, I'm still in the Army. What are the ingredients in this thing? I know they're all natural, but you know, I'm in the Army. I can't be just taking any ingredients that are all natural. There's a lot of all natural stuff that would get me in trouble. Right. So I'm thinking, I'm like, look at the bottle, what's on that bottle? And I'm like, okay, I hope none of this stuff is on the blacklisted list for the Army. So we were all good. But after that, I was a believer. I was like, okay, this stuff is legit. This stuff works. And that's what's going to happen for you guys. You're going to try it. You're going to love it. It's going to just be natural to share it. Or you're going to trust us and say, hey, friend, aren't you tired of being mad all the time your whole entire life? Eat a couple of these Confianzas. And they're going to come back and go, oh my gosh. And their spouse is going to come and hug you and cry and say, where you been my whole life? You just changed our life and saved our marriage. And that's the kind of products that we have. So anyway, you're going to watch this video and it's going to say, who do you know that struggles with pain in their hands or from arthritis and those sort of things? Write their names down. Everybody's got a granny that needs relief, our product, right? And then it's going to talk about Confianza, and it's going to talk when we even have a product called Estro Rhythm that's for menopause, which you're all too young for that, but you probably have a mom or an aunt or somebody you know that might be going through the hot, cold flashes, right? And so you'll go through this and you'll learn that, and it's going to get the wheels turning, and you're going to know that you know in your knower that you can help people with It Works products. Then you'll go to them with boldness and say, hey, mom, hey, friend, I have this product. I just learned about it. And I know you've been looking for a more energy, that you're tired all the time. We have a product called Greens, and it helps to actually detoxify your body. And I can help you out with a cleanse to get things going. Average person has 5 to 7 pounds of sludge in their body. I mean, the first time I did a cleanse, I thought stuff from the 1980s was coming out of my body. I was like, oh, this is disgusting. Clear out the house. Man, the sludge is coming out. So, it's funny, but I got excited about that. I was like, man, this stuff, I was like, oh, think about the world has this stuff just stuck in their body for the last 10 years. And it's just there and they don't even know it. Like everybody needs to flush this stuff out. Trust me. So just don't do it when you have like a family reunion or nothing like that. I mean, they are white pants approved, so you don't have to stay around a bathroom or anything like that. But anyway, so that's my tip for the newbies. Watch that video, fall in love with the products, use them yourself, share them, and you'll help a lot of people with our products. So that's my tip for the newbies. Here's my tip for the veterans. Process. The process. If you feel like you're about the same person you were a year ago, then you're not involved in the process. You're not being intentional about your growth. Years ago, I heard this, and then this was life-changing for me, and it was this guy, and he said, hey, I want you to set a goal. He said, I want you to set some goals, have a dream board, all that kind of stuff. He said, one of the goals I want you to set is to become a millionaire. And I was like, what? A millionaire? I was like, I don't know if I want to become a millionaire. And he said, don't set the goal to become a millionaire for the money, right? Don't set it to get the money. He said, set a goal to become a millionaire for the person you have to become to earn that much. I was like, whoa. Because here's what's crazy. If you become the person that can earn $1 million, you can give it all away when you earn it. Because now you've changed. You've become the kind of person that can attract that. And so, yeah, I know I'm just going to die in a second. It's fine. 2%. So in the process, you stay in the process, you challenge yourself, you stretch yourself. I was talking to a girl earlier. I'm like, hey, you're getting ready to do you're going to learn how to do a party pad presentation. We're going to get on a Zoom. She's like, Chad, you're really stretching me. I'm like, well, you better order a whole truckload of stretch mark cream, girl, because I'm going to be stretching you because that's what I do, right? So that's what we need to do to ourselves, right? Is just stretch yourself a little bit. Think of the math here. I don't know if any of you are math people, but 1/3 of 1% over a year is 100%. If you change every day, just a little tiny bit, right? That's just getting ready to say something you shouldn't say and just not doing it that first time, just swallowing it. Someone swerves in traffic in front of you and you just want to nail them with the horn and you're just like, I'm gonna let it go. Just that one little tiny tweak, maybe feeling like someone is talking about you behind your back and saying, you know what, I'm gonna assume the best because love assumes the best. And that first time you say love assumes the best. And you do that one thing every day, one tiny thing. Over a year, you've changed 100%. 5 years from now, you look back and you go, who was that crazy person that I was 5 years ago? I'm a whole different person now. And that's the key to life, guys. That's the key. See, what we have to understand is if we were write down of all the problems we have in our life, our name should be at the very top of our own list. Of the biggest problems we have in our life, it's us. Because our limitations are self-imposed limitations that keeps us from getting to where we still 2%. Man, I could go all night. This battery's lasting. So what I want you guys to get, especially if you're veterans or even if you're new, just embrace the process. Just understand that the person you are today doesn't have to be the person you are next year or the year after that, and that we can all grow and we all should be growing. And your past definitely does not have to equal your future. But if you will change, then everything will change for you. See, it doesn't matter if your job changes or your parents change or, that's all on the not much list. How much does it really affect you if the government changes? Not much. How does it affect you if whatever, the Wall Street goes up another 10,000 points, not much. How does it affect you with this or that or that? Not much. So just be involved.
I think he just died. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he just died. Okay. So since he's gone, I'm sure he wishes he would have said his farewells and, he would have wished you guys all the good luck in the world. But now, wow, that was awesome. I wasn't expecting them to have that much time to do this. So I'm very grateful for that. So I don't know how to the poor kid is muted all Okay, whatever. So don't mind Chad. Okay, there he goes. Perfect. Okay, so I don't want to take a lot more of your guys' time because they did talk for a long time, and I know you guys are probably ready to go to sleep. But I did at least want to talk about how important it is at this point to get your 4 loyal customers within your 30 days. This is something that's going to be extremely beneficial to you for 2 reasons. Well, one, because you're going to get that $100 free shopping spree if you're new. If you joined in June, you have 30 days and you'll get that $100 free shopping spree. So your first goal, don't worry about distributors right now, especially since that promotion is over. Your goal now is to find 4 people that will do a 90-day challenge for you. It's so that you can gather people that are like, and it's super nice because it's flexible. So you guys can have these people doing different things each month. If they want to do hair, skin, and nails for the first month, and then maybe they want to try their wraps for the second month, let them know that it's completely up to them. It's super flexible. That way you guys are pushing for that $100 shopping spree. And if you have a team developed that just started under you, push them to get their 4 customers, because not only do they get a $100 free shopping spree, but you get $200 fast starts. And if you just recently got started, you have till the 7th of this month to sign people up for just $59 and help them get their 4. And you will get $100. They will get a $100 shopping spree, and you'll get $200 fast starts. So this is something that's nuts, and he doesn't often do this $200 fast starts. It's usually just one, like it's $100 for every 2 customers that you help somebody get. But this time, if you get 4, you're getting 200. So you're getting 100 for the first 2 that you get, and you're getting another 100 for the second 2 that you get. So anybody that you enroll between now and the 7th, they would have 30 days to get their 4 customers. Okay. So it's not like once you enroll them on the 7th, they have to have their 4 customers by then. Well, that would be amazing if that happened, but they have 30 days. So you have 30 days to work with them to train them on how to get those customers. And like he mentioned, watch that video in that live video that they did today. And that way you can watch and learn about the products and stuff if you're fairly new. That way you can get an idea of what we have our hands on. And so you guys can get out there, think of people as the video is going on, and reach out to people. So that way you guys can get your $100 free shopping spree. I do want to mention that you reach out to your chicken soup list. So the chicken soup list is those, if you're sick at home and you need somebody to bring you some chicken soup, you reach out to that person and it's like, come bring me some soup, I'm sick. They're that person that's going to come bring you that soup. You reach out to that list first, because those are typically the ones who are going to support you. So reach out to those first. Get that figured out so that people can come in and that's usually aunts, cousins, brothers, sisters, moms, aunts, uncles, whoever. It can be anyone, even grandma and grandpa. Grandma and grandpa need some some wrinkle stuff, Everybody needs something. There's something out there for everybody. So reach out to everybody on your chicken soup list that would support you and tell them that they have to do this because you need their support. And then I can help. And like we have been in that group message, if you get a response and you're unsure of what to say, just put it in that group, and we have leaders who can help you get a response if it's not me. And I did also want to mention, I don't know if you mentioned the Jeep. So they are giving away a free paid in full Jeep as well. So how you get entries, you help people get started, especially now until the 7th, for $59. You help them find their 4 loyal customers within 30 days, and then you get a Jeep entry. You can get unlimited Jeep entries. So I signed up 29 people. If I help all 29 of those people get 4 customers, not only do I get $200 fast starts for every single one of those, but I also get a Jeep entry for each one. So these can rack up, and I'm trying to get me a Jeep, y'all. So I know y'all can try and get you a Jeep. We all gonna get a Jeep. Everybody get a piece of this Jeep. So I'm really, really looking forward to this month because it's going to be one that's going to boom for every single one of us. And I did plan to talk about a little more, but he honestly talked about a lot. So I didn't want to necessarily overwhelm everybody with information. The biggest thing, get those customers. And I don't want you to approach people and ask them to be your loyal customer, because that's a turnoff. Who wants to be a loyal customer? That sounds ugly. So what you say is you ask them to be a 90-day challenge member for you, or a product tester, or something that kind of makes them think, oh, it's a challenge. People love challenges. So say that it's a challenge, and then tell them, they'll usually ask, what does that challenge mean? It means you try at least one product a month each month for 3 months. And that's all. And it'll be at my discounted pricing. And then after your 90-day challenge, you give me an honest review. So that's honestly a way you can word it. Just, I need your support for 3 months. And why we do the 3-month thing, some people are like, what if I don't like it? I want to just buy it one time. Let them know that they have full access to the whole product line of over 40 plus products. And say they don't, I guarantee they won't say that, but say they don't like the first product that they try. Great. Well, let's try something else. Let's try something else for your month too. That way you can get an idea of the whole product line that we have here, and you can still get my discount on the whole thing. After their 3 months is up, they're a lifetime customer of yours. They get your discount and they can go in there and order whenever they want. So there's perks to being a loyal customer or a 90-day challenge member. So get on those people. Make it a priority that you get your 4. I challenge all of you on here right now, even if you're a vet or not, get 4 loyal customers within the next 72 hours. What day is it? It's Saturday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'll give you till Wednesday. All of you on here right now have been put to a challenge. You have to get 4 loyal customers by Wednesday. Get it, got it, done. Okay, that's not it. So I have a lot of incentives. So you heard that, 4 by Wednesday, and I'm not joking. I know who's on here. I'm taking names and faces. Who's this 310-1455 number down here at the bottom? Who are you? Go ahead and here. Let me unmute you. Who are you? 310-1455. You're unmuted.
Yeah.
Hello. How are you? It's Destiny.
Hey.
Hey, what's your name?
It's Yolanda Hughes.
Oh, hey. Did you know that you're put onto a challenge until Wednesday, okay?
Okay.
I got you on it. So
Okay.
I had to know who all I was holding accountable here. So it's you guys first, and then I'll have to get the other group involved. So thanks for saying your name. I know it was probably really awkward. Okay, hold on. I'm about to announce the incentives. Here we go. Okay. So here's the thing. I got this written down so that I can give you guys the full. If you have a notepad and paper, here's where the fun starts. Here's where the fun starts to begin. Okay, first challenge. This is for those who, this can be, I guess, let's do for those who joined in June. This is for those who joined in June. The first distributor to hit the 400s club, 400s club means you have 400 in GV. So this is what Chad mentioned. Everybody's volume on your team, your customers, anybody that you have under you, their customers. If you place orders, your orders, all of that is a part of your GV. The first person who joined in June to get into the 400s club will get this from me. Okay? This is a free cleanse, and the cleanse is a two-day, 4-bottle, 1 in the morning, 1 at night for 2 days. And this is literally amazing, okay? So this cleanse is second to none. Like he said, he didn't have to stay by the bathroom. It is White Pants approved. The first distributor who joined and gets into the 400s club will get this one. Okay, so the first one will get a cleanse. That's challenge numero uno. Okay, so this one is for everybody because everybody should be doing this anyway. The first 3 distributors to get their 4 loyal customers will receive one of these bad boys from me. Okay? So I have 3 free wraps to give away for the 3 people that get their 4. So I have challenged you guys, all of you, to get it by Wednesday. So I expect it to be one of you guys because you're the ones who have the challenge in place. But if not, hey, that's all right. So I will put this in the group as well. But you guys have the advantage because you're hearing this firsthand. And so you guys are going to be able to attack right now because I still have to type this up and put it in the group. So you guys have an advantage. Like I said, the first 3 distributors to get their 4 LCs will receive a free wrap from me. So I have 3 to give. And you guys have to put the loyal customers that you get in the Millionaire Mentality Team group chat. That way I can keep track there. That way I'm not getting text messages and having to keep track through text messages and Messenger. It all has to go in the Messenger so that I can keep track there. Okay, here's the big one. And this is for everybody. You ready? Are you ready? Okay, here we go. First 2 to hit the 400s club 400 GV for the whole month. Will the first two to hit the 400s club be commission qualified? So that means you're either running an 80 BV auto ship, like he mentioned, where you're able to try some products and then share about your testimony, or you have about 4 to 6 customers. So to be commission qualified, that's usually what it takes, an 80 BV auto ship, or you have about 4 to 6 customers. I suggest if you want to do the customer route, you get those quickly so you can be commission qualified quicker, because in order to get this incentive, you have to be commission qualified. So first two to hit the 400s club, be commission qualified, and get 4 LCs and 1 distributor. You're going to get a free It Works shirt from the store. I purchased it. Okay? So if you're wanting a shirt of some sort, I purchased it for you. So I'm going to repeat that one just so you guys can get it written down. The first two, 400s club, commission qualified, 4 LCs, and 1 distributor. And I buy you a shirt. Your first shirt, maybe, I don't know if you have a shirt. I know Drea is loaded. So Drea, this won't be her first shirt. But if it isn't your first shirt, make this a motivation, you guys, because this is amazing. The clothes that we have, I mean, this is like my sleep shirt that I have on right here. And it's kind of cute still. So they have some really cute clothes and in all sizes. So it's honestly a great incentive for you guys to hit the ground running. I hope you guys all wrote that down so that you guys can start. This starts now. So whoever does these things first, I need to see you guys putting it in that group message so I know exactly who it is and I can write it down as soon as I see it in that group chat. So this is your mission. I have 3 incentives on top of Chad's. So his is the first 10 to get the 4 LCs. He's going to give you $100. So he's just going to, you have to be commission qualified as well, and the 400. So, I mean, he's just going to drop $100 in your account like poof, poof, have that, okay? I can't do that. I ain't about that life yet, but I will have you guys eventually once I get to his level. So those are the incentives that I have right now. But before I get off here and before I stop the recording, I do want to answer any questions anybody has if you've come up with them. So if you have, just put your hand up and I can unmute you, and then we'll go from there. And I guess if you have the phone on the bottom. Yolanda, if you have a question, I'm unmuting you too. Okay. Drea, yes, you're unmuted.
Am I unmuted?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so I think I was a question earlier, but are you able to tell us how we get into our e-suite?
Yes. Okay, so
Somebody asked a question.
So for those of you who are just getting started, when you joined, you should have on the confirmation page, you should have gotten it says customer ID. It should have been right under your order success order confirmation number. So the customer ID that you have gotten when you confirmed your order, that is your login ID. That is what you're going to want to remember. That is how you log into your e-suite or your website. We call it the e-suite. We call it the back office. Whatever you hear, it's all the same thing. The password would have been what you set up when you joined. So you want to make sure you get in there and log in and handle the tax information that they ask for, because if not, you'll be on commissions hold and you won't get paid ever. And then if you don't complete it within the 30 days, if you don't get off commissions hold within 30 days of joining, you will get your distributorship stripped, because they're basically going to say like you're not active. So they just take your stuff. They just strip your distributorship and you're just done at that point. So make sure you log in and you confirm the tax information stuff that they ask for in the beginning. And that way you also have access to all of your training academies in your e-suite. Your reports are in your e-suite. The commissions posted will be in your e-suite. Any documents you might need as far as products. If you're not sure about the products yet, there's plenty of stuff in there. It's a perfect resource for you to use. So that's important. Make sure you know how to log into your e-suite and maneuver it. Get familiar with it, because it will be your baby. So make sure you're familiar with your e-suite. Login ID is that customer ID that was given at the end, and the password that you set up when you joined. And the website name would have been whatever you created for your website. So any other questions? And Yolanda, you are unmuted if you had any questions or anything, by the way.
No questions.
You say no questions?
Yes, no questions.
Okay, perfect. Well, if that is it and that is all, I'm going to stop the recording.